men really want. Rob Nugen tells all. In case we haven't met yet, I'm Jess X Goh, and I'm the sole founder of Life in Confidence. And this is my beloved here,
Hi.
Rob Nugen, and he is a connection coach for men. If you haven't done so, please subscribe to my YouTube channel so you don't miss out on the latest insight. And also, if you find that you have gained any nuggets of gold for yourself in this video, please give this video a like, comment below, and share it with your loved ones who are in need of this. So the reason why I've brought Rob here, which is very unusual for me to have someone speaking with me in my videos, is because I feel it's really important for men and women to really understand how men operate, how they work, what do they really want. And it's so easy to misunderstand what men really want, especially the way they communicate, the way they show up in the world, the way they have been conditioned in the patriarchy. And I'm going to ask Rob some questions. He has been trained in the men's work for more than 2 decades and has been running men's circles in Japan to the point where now it sustains itself. And I brought Rob here to ask him a couple of questions to bring some insights into the perspective and the lens of being a man in this modern age world. So from his book, I'm Fine.
I'm fine.
That book, which I've read, shares the story of Rob's healing journey. And I'm going to ask a couple of questions to just gain further insight into his brain about running men's circles and what men really want from his experiences of running men's circles and the training that he has done. And I will also add some insights from my professional experience working with men through trauma recovery. So the first question that I have for you, Honey Bunny, is what has been the insights that you've gained from running men's circles for over a decade?
I would say the main insight that's consistently happening across men's circles is that men have similar issues that come up. We have a phrase in the group, basically, your work is my work, because there's so many times that a man will come up, will bring to the group some issue or topic that he has, and other men can basically say, yeah, me too, is so frequently that it's just the case that the overall patterns that show up are consistent, they're repeated over time and across different men in the groups. So that's one huge thing. Then my takeaway from that is that you're not alone as a man who are feeling whatever issue that may be coming up. There are other men who are feeling the same issue as you and who understand where you're coming from.
Totally, because when I've worked with men through my trauma recovery work privately, they find that they've lost themselves along the way in society, not being initiated into their manhood, and they feel so broken on the inside. Their experiences of what they shared with me with men and also women, that they have to be a people pleaser, to be a yes man in order to appear like they are a good man, when really they're so depressed, they don't know who they are. They have to comply with the agreements of social conditioning. And it's really heartbreaking to see that when I work with a man privately, because of the damage that's been done from what he has been shown what to do and say in order to appear appropriate in the lens of the feminist movement, which is quite destructive for men and women. When you look into the research behind the feminist movement, and I'm talking about thorough research, which isn't information just provided from the patriarchy or the elites, should I say, that Candace Owens is a really great example, and so is Milo. They talk further into detail and depth the workings behind the feminist movement. And I hear this a lot from men when I work with them privately, how it really crushes down their way in how to show up for a woman. They don't know if they need to pay for the bill or not, because so many women say, no, I can pay for my own meal, and opening up the doors and pulling the chair for them. And women, a lot of them, I'm not saying all women, but a lot of them say, I don't need this. And so men struggle to find their purpose in how to be a man when it comes to dating and being in a relationship. So, Rob, what are your thoughts on that?
Well, having a purpose, having a vision for myself is invaluable to help me live my life in a way that feels purposeful. And being in a relationship, it's so important for me to know how I can support the relationship. And so whether that is with payment or uh, supporting and stuff around the house or what have you, these these insights on how I can serve and support in the relationship are invaluable for me, and I think for many men as well.
And I've also noticed where there were times where I didn't give you a purpose in our relationship because I was so fixated on being in my masculine, being hyper independent, and that took your masculinity away from you. And from the feedback that you shared with me, that you feel like you don't have a purpose in our relationship, it really opened up my eyes. And it has invited me to really drop in more into my femininity. How can I receive more? Why am I blocking myself from being receptive, receiving support from the masculine? And that I don't need to do everything on my own because that's how I've been raised. And so, my final question for you, Boo Boo, is that what is it that men are looking for when it comes to connection and belonging from your personal and professional experience?
Well, yeah, connection and belonging, they're different. Men, I would say, believe different things about this. They or might have experience at different levels. Some connection is very surface level, and the connection that we offer in the groups can be like very deep, like sharing extremely personal topics. And I think the different levels of connection help at the different times. Like if I may not know someone to the degree that I would want to, sorry, well, for most people, I don't know them to the degree that I would share the deep topics, but with the men's group, I have that option that I can share at a very deep and personal level. And we get to know each other over years of supporting one another that I has been invaluable for me to have that support that I can rely on. When I see statistics like men over 70 report that they have no friends or only one friend, but then they died, and it's like, holy crap! It's so important for me that I continue to develop very close, safe relationships that I can really talk to men about whatever is coming up for me. So while most guys might just be at a very surface level, it's been so important for me to really be able to talk about important topics and expand my friendships to meet new people regularly that allows me to continue to share regardless of who moves away or ends up dying, because I'm beginning to get older and people can die. So it's really sad to see people who just have no connections outside of themselves because they just haven't been developing that close connection.
And also, we're both in a long distance relationship. So I'm predominantly based in Australia, and I now travel more frequently to London to run my workshops and see private clients there. And Rob, you're based in Tokyo, Japan, and it's a completely different culture there. It's extremely isolating. So, would you be able to share some insights as to what are your experiences and the feedback that you've received from other men from your men's circles about, trying to find that sense of belonging or connection in Japan?
Yeah, one of the stories I often tell is that when I, as an American coming to Japan for the first time, I was crying for a hug after 3 months because there's so little physical contact in the culture. And when we meet in person in the men's group, we regularly share hugs and just connect in that kind of a way. The culture that I'll say the Japanese culture, being non-contact, being very limited on the amount that people can talk about emotional stuff, is quite different than what we've developed in the men's group. Not that we've developed, but that we encourage in the men's group to share from the heart and to be able to connect with a hug that is unlike anything I've ever really experienced in Japan otherwise. Most of the men in the group are from Western countries, so we have created a little kind of an oasis in that regard. We're always open for new men. Very few Japanese have been willing to come to the depth that we offer within the group.
Definitely, because the men that I work with privately through my trauma recovery work or at my workshops or attending my online ceremonies, predominantly they are Caucasian. And it's very rare for me to work with an Asian male. I believe I've only worked with one Asian male
Not surprised.
throughout my career, running my trauma recovery business for a decade now. And I've only come across one Asian male, and he was in, or still is, in Australia, right, in a Western country. So it really does show that culture makes such a massive difference when it comes to connection and support, being receptive to that. It's more accepting, and it seems like it's more appropriate in the lens of the Western world to get support, which is what I've found when through my travels and running my events and working with clients in Australia and in London. As opposed to Tokyo, when I did start working with clients there and running my events there for about 2 years. And I noticed it was really hard to crack into the hearts and minds of people who know they need the inner work, but they refuse to do so because of their conditioning. So much shame to receive help and to work through their emotions and to feel their emotions in a country and a culture like Japan. And even foreigners, a lot of them struggle to receive that help and connection as well because of the cultural environment that they're in. So, Rob, is there any final words that you would like to share?
Yes, the book I wrote, let me show that again, I'm Fine, is named after a story when my grandfather's wife died and he claimed he was just damn fine when my mom asked how he was doing. It was heartbreaking to me to see him lying to her, lying to himself that he was fine. He needed support and he didn't know how to ask. So this book has been written for men who think they still can do everything but forget about self-care. So I want to invite that man to recognize it's okay to take care of the self. Emotions arise, that's not going to stop, they'll come up, and we need to process them. Otherwise, they can end up wrecking our lives and feeling incredibly isolated if we're not able to share heart to heart with others. And I just really hope that this book can help men begin their inner journey of the heart. So thank you, Hunbun, for helping show the book and promote it. It took 18 months of my life to get through some fear to get the thing out there, and I'm really glad that I've finally done it, and I appreciate your support on that as well.
And the reason why I'm supporting this, it's because of my professional experiences working with men who are struggling with the healing journey. And so many need this more than ever. It's so sad for me to see that there are more women coming to my workshops and my events and working with me privately than men. And it would be such an amazing shift and a refreshing change to see more men showing up for themselves through any sort of healing events, working with people privately so they can get the help and support that they need so they can be a better man for themselves and for society to be a healthy role model and to be a healthy leader in the family unit, in our communities, in the workplace, to really rise and really reclaim their ownership as a real man from the heart, leading from a place of vulnerability and authenticity. And in Rob's book, he shares a lot about his experiences and journeys with that. So, Bubu, Hanban, where can the audience get a copy of your book?
I'm Fine is currently available on Amazon in paperback form and on Kindle. It is probably going to be in other bookstores in the future, but for now it's on Amazon. So you can look for my name, Rob Nugen. It'll show right up, and look forward to hearing how it goes for you to read that. And women, if you're a man or if you know a man who claims to be fine when you know he's really not, this is a book for him.
100%. So it's not just for men, it's also for women to get insights into what it's like to be a man on the healing path. So I highly recommend it. And also, if you feel that you were moved by this book, please leave a 5-star review for Rob. That would help him to get the message out there as well. And lastly, Rob, where can people find you and your men's circle?
Yes, for me personally, my website is robnugen.com. Click on the link below, and my men's circle is through Mankind Project. I'm personally in Mankind Project Japan, but there are circles all around the globe in the Western countries, anywhere you are. So check it out.
I'll share the links. Well, the links will be in the video description, which you can find below. And also, you can also choose to work with Rob privately as well, if you want more of a personalized, tailored experience. I know for myself, whenever I'm struggling with something and Rob happens to be around, he is such a great space holder. He's a great listener. He knows to ask the right questions to help you to dive deeper into getting to know more and more of yourself and what's showing up for you, your blockages, what's in the way, and what needs to be liberated from within. So I highly recommend Rob if you're a man, if you're looking to do some men's work on a one-to-one level, please reach out to him through his website. And also, if you feel called to work with me through trauma recovery, whether it's one-to-one, through my workshop retreats, my online circles, or my inner child healing course, you'll find the links in the video description as well. So, my love, please share if there's anything that you got out of this conversation. And if you would like to see more videos of me and Rob together talking about masculine and feminine dynamics, the differences in the way we relate, lovemaking, communication, if you're interested in more of that content, please comment in the video below so I know, and we can create content based on the topics that you are longing to learn about, because this is education that we're not learning in the system, in a broken system, right? And so we have to figure ourselves out through pornography and whatever information we can get that's quite limited and also debilitating to the mind, heart, and body. And I want to share more information that serves you, that is nourishing from the inside out, and learn how to really navigate through the feminine masculine dynamics, dating, relationships, on more of a holistic and spiritual approach that is elevating and empowering. And knowing that you do have a voice, that you do have options, that you do have choices that can bring happiness and meaning to yourself to the next level. So, Rob, any final words of wisdom that you would like to share before we wrap it up?
Just, tune into the heart. The heart always knows the way. And I look forward to seeing you online.
And may you remember that you are more than just trauma. Trauma is not just our identity. Remember to illuminate the love that you have from within, and may that serve you.